What is going on, guys? So we are back with another Pokemon Masters video, and today we're actually going to be giving Steven and Metagross their time in the Limelight. So I've already recorded this video once just for your awareness, but big old dummy me went ahead and deleted that big old file I recorded. So guess who's got to record it again? Guy, if you vote this guy, you will win that bet. So the Hoenn champion makes his grand entrance with none other than his trusty Metagross. This is going to be a very cool sync pair to look into, and I know a lot of you guys are very excited to see this one come in, so let's just jump right in. So we are going to be a steel type sync pair with a weakness to Ghost. What? Yeah, Ghost. That's really cool. I really like it. Gonna be a physical striker, and we've actually got some pretty decent stats here. HP of 443, attack of 384, defense of 170, special attack 125, special defense 182, and a speed of 222. Now, since we are going to basically have a Mega Evolution, spoiler alert, we do get a little bit of a stat increase on top of that. So once we Mega Evolve, our attack actually does go up to 460, and our defense actually goes up to 187. So actually pretty good. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but those stats are actually pushing some pretty good numbers. Our bulk is actually pretty nice, especially after we Mega Evolve. Our attack is really nice, especially after we Mega Evolve. So it just kind of works out really well. So in terms of moves, Meteor Mash is actually our first move here, which is a 2-bar move, and it isn't half bad. 55 base power, 90 on the accuracy, which actually that's kind of bad. And it does have a small chance of lowering the user's attack. Is that what I wrote? X attack, though, it is a way to basically boost up our actually insanely high attack stat and actually allow Ironhead to come in and decimate. And speaking of, Ironhead is actually getting there from what I would expect here. 3 bars for 92 on the base power. This time it does have 100 on the accuracy, which is great. And it also has a chance to make the target flinch, which is good. So I like this one a lot more. This one's actually looking pretty good. Our signature trainer move is going to be Best There Is, which is going to raise our defense and ensure a critical hit rate. And ensure a critical hit. Interestingly though, if we've already Mega Evolved, we're also going to gain some endurance on the next hit as well, which is actually pretty freaking awesome. So I'm actually like already churning out ideas, thinking of co-op and how much fun that's going to be with Metagross. That's actually really cool. So our sync move is called Solid Steel Meteor Mash, and it's pretty standard Mega Evolution, honestly. 160 base power, which allows us to become Mega Metagross until the end of battle. We also do have 2 passives here, Power Chain 3, which powers up a move when Unity bonus is in effect, and we have Impervious. And you guys know exactly how I feel like with Impervious. So Power Chain 3 is actually quite interesting here. It kind of gives a little bit more credence to what they hope Metagross will be really used in, which is definitely co-op. They are really giving it a ton of stuff that scream co-op for me. But after we Mega Evolve, some of our moves are actually going to shift around a little bit. Basically, Ironhead would become move 1, and we get Bullet Punch instead of Meteor Mash. So Bullet Punch is actually one of those fancy quick moves like we've talked about with Kukui and Lycanroc. We basically get 3 uses at 75 power for 0 bar cost, which you may remember whenever we talked about Lycanroc and Kukui that we had a way to refresh this move with refreshing. With Metagross, we do not. So you kind of got to use them wisely. Now, as far as damage output, oh boy. Are you guys ready? So Steven and Metagross actually, based on the current level caps, have the highest physical attack stat in the game. At a whopping 460, this guy is going to slap. So now, in comparison to some of the other top tier physical strikers though, we will outrank Lycanroc even in base form. We barely just come underneath Mega Garchomp in our base form, which is quite nuts. But compared to the kits that those other sync pairs may have, we aren't probably going to be pushing nearly as much damage. The reason for that is we just don't really have a move that clocks in at 120 base power or anything. But for what it's worth, we still will be able to make good use of it, just not nearly as insanely good as some others. In terms of utility, as a physical striker, we pretty much have a clear objective. Come in, pound some faces. That's pretty much what we do here. So in solo though, we're pretty much going to do standard stuff, come in, do some damage. Because we do have a Mega Evolution, it may be kind of slow in terms of like getting to our full potential, but that's kind of the norm with Megas right now anyways. In co-op though, here's where my brain starts turning a little bit. I really like the idea of having Metagross on the left-hand side of the co-op team, being that it's the second option whenever the first option dies out. So let's say that you buff up your center pick or the first Pokemon that comes out in a co-op match. Get rolling, but then RNG actually takes you out. Meaning that RNG works against you. You may end up losing that first Pokemon, and then Metagross comes out. By that time, you should actually be really close to a sync move, hopefully, which then you can get your Mega Evolve off, and pretty much you can just go to town with quick moves and put some serious damage in. You also get to take advantage of the 2 endurances that you're going to get from your trainer move. That actually sounds really nice. Now, as far as future-proofing, considering that we only have Thornton, Solgaleo, and Wikstrom. Poor Wikstrom. I am fairly certain that as a Steel-type attacker, we will have a place for quite some time here. Overall, though, this kind of feels like a fairly standard Mega Evolution sync pair. I mean, I say that in a way that it's going to take us a little bit to get going. But once we're at our full potential, you can really start to see Metagross shine quite a bit here. So with that being said, I really like the fact that we boast such an immense attack stat and that we have 2 endurances. That's actually really cool. And I'd say Steven will probably stick around as pretty relevant for a little while, especially in co-op. So as far as team ideas, first thing that I want to do with Steven is give him some critical buffs. So maybe something like Torchic or Maylene sounds pretty good to me. I cannot wait for Medicham, by the way. Then when, you know, you could really just have any other sync pair on the opposite side, honestly. Maybe some defense for like more bulk, so maybe Skyla. Or some speed, maybe. That's kind of what you would want to go for. So maybe Marley, or like if you want bar regen, maybe Rosa, or maybe Delibird. Kind of just depends on which way you want to go. Rosa with Superior and Rosa with Delibird. Let me differentiate those. So as a final verdict, all in all, I think that Steven and Metagross are going to be actually a pretty good unit here. They are going to bring in some much needed power to the steel typing, and they are going to have a pretty lasting effect in battle with 2 endurances and Bullet Punch clocking in some decent damage. Ironhead also going to be doing some good stuff. I don't want to forget to mention that one. If I had to place them on a tier list right now, remember, without actually having used them, just kind of glossing over the numbers and trying to get a feel for them that way, I would feel comfortable putting Steven in B to A tier. More towards the A tier at the moment, but I'm not quite sure that he's going to fit solidly in the A tier. I feel it's kind of an in-between right now. I don't think he's going to be outputting like super high numbers in terms of damage like some of the other S tier strikers that we've talked about, and the Mega Evolution kind of slows us down quite a bit, but once we get there, we're actually probably going to put up some solid numbers. But that's just my opinion on Steven. I'd love to know what you guys think. Definitely let me know. Do you like Steven's kit? Are you a huge fan of Steven? How many gems do you have saved up for your boy? Because you know your boy is coming very soon. By the time this video drops, the announcement should be live for the release date. But I'm not going to say that just in case I don't want to reveal too much information. But anyways, it's in the data mine if you're that curious. But either way, so going into the shop here, like I said before, Steven and Metagross isn't out yet, so can't really, unfortunately, summon for them, but we're just going to go and throw down some gems on Kukui Banner here. Of course, all we do actually still need is the good old Elisa. If you want to follow along on the count of 3, we're going to go in 1, 2, 3. Oh, I almost dropped my phone. Oh, I'm so glad that didn't skip the animation. That would have been bad. Do we get a 4-star antenna? We do not. It is a 3-star antenna. What about the doors? Give me some good doors. Give me the good... Oh, it's just 3 stars. So we got a Ramos with a Weeping Bell. I swear if we don't get Victory Bell soon, I'm going to riot. Hashtag free Victory Bell. Free him from those chains. So yeah, that is actually going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. As always, remember that if you want to join the Discord, you can definitely do that down in the description below. Also down there are links to Patreon and YouTube memberships if that's your thing. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and head out, but I'll catch you in the next video.